Morning folks, apologies for the sound, the hissing sound. I've had to put a fan heater on up in my garret. It's a cold, wet, horrible morning after the weather we have had recently. Right, then what to do? This is a Fabriano £130 studio practice paper. Very, very good for what I use it for, and as often as not, some of the demos that I've done, I will gesso and paint over them in oil or acrylic. So first off, I'll give the paper a bit of a wet. Oh, look at that! The brush wasn't clean. A bit cleaner now. No, it isn't. I thought it was. Yeah, well, never mind. Now today in the UK, we, apart from other various things to do on Saturday night, we've got our annual Guy Fawkes night, celebration of Guy Fawkes, who attempted to, with his mates, attempted to blow up Parliament in the 17th century. Could do with him now, to be quite honest, the way this wretched government is making a mess of things. Locally we have a firework event. It's put on by a charitable association. I think it's the Rotary Club. They do a lot for various charities. And there's a local park called Ruskin Park. John Ruskin, the art critic, and a strange fellow, lived nearby. I can't remember, Ruskin. He's very well known in his day anyway. He was an art critic. And there's a park there that I think it's got a huge crater in it. It's not a big park, it's a very nice one. It's got a crater. It was probably from the German bomb 75 years ago. And they built this bonfire in the crater of it. It's really nice, and I don't know how many people will actually turn up tonight, but usually you get about 15,000 people. Probably the largest, well, they reckon it's the largest firework display in the south east of England. And we used to go, but then we just stopped and gave money. We get too old for it. It can be very cold. We've been there in the frost, but everybody loves it. Has a good time. And we're going around a friend's house. Is to stand in the garden in the rain and watch it from his garden, or at least the overhead stuff. You won't be able to see the ground fireworks, but the aerial displays we will be able to enjoy. Hopefully with a glass of wine or two. Right, now I'm just waiting for this to soak in a little bit before I put the next coat on. I haven't yet decided what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do something. Okay, let's just get some of this in. I like doing stuff with water in trees and stuff. Not one for houses. I do put them in occasionally. I think next week I'll get back to some oil paintings, because I've done quite a few of these this week and a bit before. Right, now I'm going to put in a bit of blue on that. I'll just let it soak in a little bit. When the paper's wet, you can more or less do what you like with it, but as it starts to dry in to the body of the paper, you can get some nasty marks on the paper where the paper the paint stops, and then you get this sort of oasis effect. And this paper, the water stays on the surface for quite a time, which is why I like it. also like it because it's much cheaper than artist quality. But so when you get used to it, you can do some really good pictures with it. I got up early, quite early this morning, about 6:30. Come down for a cup of tea, put the TV on, and straight to a demonstration of acrylic painting using a knife and various implements by an artist called Kathy Mevick. I think she's American, but I don't know. It was speeded up, so I didn't catch much about it. But it does tempt me again to have another go at acrylic. Acrylic abstract sort of painting. I quite enjoyed that when I did it. Alright, let's get a bit of that paint off, or the wet out of the paper with the ultramarine. Oh, I'll see what happens to that. A bit of Payne's grey to the mix. Okay, let's take that down a little bit. I just want a bit heavier blue in there, I think. These are all artists, all the cotton and watercolours, apart from their lovely yellow, which is that's it, we'll leave that alone now, I think. Which is cadmium yellow light. It's an artist quality. It's about £10 a tube of 21mm, but it's a great colour. It's sort of revolutionised my oh, sorry, still cough. I'll try this, so take your headphones off. Ready? Oh, tangled up here. Let's untwist it. Okay. Right, ready, go. Okay, that would do. Excuse a cough. I do take pills for this. Right, just get that re-clipped. Okay, now that is, well, I can see, perfectly flat. Coming on to rain, it looks a bit stormy, doesn't it? It's not what we've got outside, we just got a sheet of just a grey, no alteration in the cloud formation, but it's just blanket cloud. Horrible. Now I've got a cup of coffee here. Yeah, not a lover of coffee, but I do like making it in a percolator. Right. So let's have a look at the colours. We've got this lovely cad yellow light. We've got raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey and burnt sienna. I haven't been using a lot of burnt umber because you can really make it with burnt sienna and Payne's grey, but it was a shortcut, so I'm just going to clean the palette a bit. Because this is where we start putting the trees and stuff in. Now I sort of don't know what I'm going to do. I like the idea of a bit of wet, so I use the medium hake, methinks. Right, okay, so drab. Let's just put in some trees. We'll work it out. So we'll have Payne's grey, bit of that lovely yellow, bit more Payne's grey, and we'll just start putting in some put some of that in, bit of undulation. Okay, well that's a good start. That's a bit of burnt sienna in that. Pain, so bit of shadow in there. Nice couple of trees there, or one or whatever. We'll do something else here. More awesome in that one. Look at the trees there, they've still got a lot of leaves on. Alright, okay, now we'll put in some bluey grey ones. Ooh. Give a bit of distance. We'll use a bit of Payne's grey with ultramarine. Okay, we'll carry on with that behind here. There's quite a tooth on this paper, it's quite nice for dry brushing at the right time. These hakes hold a lot of water that you don't realise until it all floods out. Put a bit in there. Look, it's very, very light touch. Just barely touching the paper. Right, now into that we can modify it. Let's just come a bit behind here. Alright, that's quite attractive. Right, that's a reasonable start. Now we're going to texture this foreground now. So let's get a bit of that lovely yellow and just sweep it across, taking the oh God, it flips up, killing my wrist. Oh, don't get old. I did 40 years fitting carpets, so I had my own business. And my wrists, about 7, 8 years, 9 years ago, started to play up. That's my excuse anyway. Well, I'm not going to use any fingers for lifting out there. Just let that dry. Let's put in a bit of a sienna, a bit of a Payne's grey with that. Where's the cart there? Made a bit of a mess there. Bit of shadow. Payne's grey is a wonderful invention. Let's get a good for the touch of the brush for these. That's wrong there. This is more or less a tree tutorial. This rough ground here. Really just waiting for this to dry. Okay, right, I've got a bit those trees now. Let's now we want autumn. So a bit of autumn colour just dotted in. And we'll have a bit of lovely yellow. Just waiting over that blue to show some colour on these trees. That one went a bit wrong here, so let's just I'll go back over these and I'll dry brush in some nice stuff. Bushes. Payne's grey. Vary your colours, otherwise you just get a monotonous blob. A bit more green in that. I might put some figures in this. I think I've made a mess of those. That's a horrible tree. But I'll wait for it to, well, I won't wait for it to dry, I'll dry it. Right, so ready, steady, headphones off, mutual sound, go. got to do something with this. So I'll get my hake again, squeeze out most of the water, pull out some of the loose hairs, and rather too much water. Oh, I know it's darker colours. From looking at the trees in my road, many of the leaves are still on the tree, and they don't really turn brown until they hit the ground and dry out. Could do something with that, right? Let's just get a bit of Payne's grey, a bit of that lovely green. Burnt sienna in it as well, and then just put some fallen leaves here, a bit of shadow. Bit of sort of everything here. I'll put some trunks in, or some branches anyway, just to open it up a bit. It will open. The shadow. Right. Bit of texture in there. Payne's grey. No, not like that. Work on that out a bit. Sort of rough meadow. Okay, well, we could probably let that go. Bushes. Right, I'm going to give that another dry, then I'm just going to put a bit of texture in the trees, and then we're done. Okay, got the rig up. Frank Clark's rig up. Bit of Payne's grey. Bit of brown. Now I'll see what we can make of this. comes to a lovely point. It all sort of opens up when you do this. This one, more black, or the centre with the Payne's grey in this. Put another one up there. It's good to do something with that one, wouldn't I? So I think we'll call this a sky tutorial. I'm going to put a couple of figures in, but I might have to do them with a bit of gouache. I think that one was a bit wet. You don't want to overdo these, like I am. Remember your taper. And let some come down. Like that. Some behind. Oh, that's improved it a bit. Alright, that's gonna don't know, I'll put a red figure. Perhaps I won't put any figures in at all. No, just put the birds in. Well, I'm going to let that go. I don't think it's too bad. put the large amount on the forgot to do that. Right, that just about fits. Oh, right, I'm quite pleased with that. That's turned out quite dramatic. A bit heavy this one, and a bit heavy this there. But what you can do is ruin it. Get this little hake, the small Frank Clark hake. Just break it up a bit. And get a bit of that yellow. And just put on some of the other leaves. It does great things, this little bit of yellow. Put a little bit of sienna in there, burnt sienna that is. So just to reduce them a little bit. I think I get the idea. Just adds that little bit of sparkle to it. It's probably not quite right, but then we're creating paintings, not photographs. Right, thanks for watching, folks. Oh, I'll just come out of that. There you are, you can see the whole lot now. Right, bye for now.